Thank you very much and welcome back. And I think Mr. Ashok will do his self-introduction. So Ashok, it's over to you. So you do your self-introduction and you can start your session.
Thank you very much, Masood. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this presentation. It is indeed an honor to be presenting to this August gathering today. I'm Ashok Kumar, Chief of Business Development, EMEA and SAARC region at Talariax Pte. Limited, Singapore. It's a Saturday afternoon, time for siesta after lunch. So I'll try to make this session brief, so please bear with me for a while. I start with a short intro about the company, no slide here. Based in Singapore, Talariax is an ISO 9001:2015 company with clients in 50 countries around the world. We've been in the business for the last 20 years, and we are a multi-award winning company. Our products are certified CE, FCC, UL, ROHS, and deployed across some 50 discrete industries, that's 50. As you can see, we are a sector agnostic offering. Now, this talk today is about sendQuick, our omni-channel notification management platform, specifically in its application for data centers, although I'll touch briefly on other areas as well with your kind permission. Now, this is just what we will see today. As you can see, we'll talk about the role of a DCIM in a data center, the responsibility landscape of an IT manager, the tools, lifecycle and workflow of assets that's used by the IT team as also the entire organization, the impact of downtime on business, and as an IT manager, what should you do to mitigate such risks? The presentation of sendQuick as a solution, use cases, sendQuick, and a few customer references. When to onboard sendQuick as a solution, followed by a short demo of sendQuick. Hopefully, I'll be able to show you incoming messages as well. I'll take questions after that if time permits. Yeah. Moving on. Over the last 2 days, you've listened to domain experts talk about planning, design, building, and managing data centers. You've also heard from people responsible for training, certification, reliability, and performance monitoring of data centers. So I won't go into any of that, but I'll touch on key elements required to present my case. Data center infrastructure management, or DCIM tools, monitors, measures, and manages. It also controls data center utilization and energy consumption of all IT-related equipment, be servers, switches, and what have you, and facility infrastructure components such as power distribution units, air conditioners, and so on. Critical component of the DC also includes environment monitoring system, which monitors temperature, humidity, water leakage with the help of sensors. Now, as you can see, these are highly specialized operations, which means there are specific personnel responsible for the smooth operation of these assets. So we have DCIM software, various brands such as Sunbird, Structureware from Device 42, NetTrain, rack tables, I guess, and so on. Now, these can bridge information across organizational domains, such as data center operations, facilities, and IT to maximize utilization of the DC. Today, DCs are located on-premise and on cloud, both in captive and co-location modes. Public cloud adoption for deployment of DCs has since increased. But DC notwithstanding, the IT manager's responsibility landscape is quite complex. This is an illustration that puts that into perspective. As you can see, we start bottom up with core aspects of the DC, such as power, cooling, environment sensors, premise security, and access control. Next is the network layer, which comprises switches, routers, load balancers, and so on, followed by the access security, like firewall, SSL VPN, PIM-PAM solutions, intrusion detection prevention, single sign-on, two-factor authentication, and so on. And then we have the application layer, ERP, CRM, supply chain management, business intelligence, and so on. This is followed by the endpoints, users basically using their laptops, PCs, mobile devices, and so on. An earlier speaker, Mr. N.K. Singh, speaking on the 19th, I guess, of this month, the first day, said respondents to a study initiated by the Uptime Institute agreed that 75% of the outages could have been avoided by doing the right thing at the DC. So what does that mean? It follows that you need to have the right tools, process, and protocol for effective functioning of the data center. Which brings us to the management tools for the IT team. As you can see, there are different tools such as SCOM, System Center Operations Manager, Network Management System, Enterprise Asset Management, Security Information and Event Management System, Data Center Infrastructure Management Solutions, Environment Monitoring, Building Management Systems, etc., to monitor this disparate IP addressable infrastructure. These tools aid in incident and response management. However, when you have the tools and they trigger an alarm, you need to notify concerned personnel in order to manage the incident effectively. Which brings us to the IT life cycle and workflow of assets that you onboard at your organization. This slide here illustrates that. Now, whether it's on-premise or cloud, systems and resources need to be monitored and managed. Enterprise asset management help with that, but timely and proper notification is key to aid workflow with respect to your IT operations. The question is why? Because downtime can impact business. Based on a study conducted for an organization in Singapore, with a turnover of about 20 million per annum and 200 employees working on standard parameters of work hours and employee cost per hour, the total downtime cost was estimated to be around 12,700 Singapore dollars. As you can see, downtime can cost an organization money, not to mention loss of reputation, loss of sales, and customer loyalty. But why are we harping about downtime? Despite the best intention and effort, things can go wrong, and there will be failure, crisis, and disasters. I don't want to be sounding negative, but you just can't eliminate downtime. Given the sheer scale of deployment of IT and its ramifications, failures are becoming ever pervasive and expensive year on year as well. As an IT manager, what should you do? You can ask yourself these questions. Are IT systems and internet important for your company? If there is an issue, how do you get informed and notified? Can your current system send alerts reliably? It really comes down to alerting mechanisms that you put into place to deal with such eventualities. The added benefit is that a reliable alert framework also helps to achieve operational efficiency. There are two critical determinants here, if that's the takeaway from the slide. How efficiently can you identify cause of failure? And how quickly can you communicate this to the concerned personnel that can help mitigate that risk? Now, sendQuick is an omni-channel notification management platform that integrates with your data center and facilitates instantaneous two-way communication to help save time, effort, and money, ensuring efficiency and effectiveness of your DC operations. You see, the alerts are sent from various infrastructure components to sendQuick via email, which is SMTP, syslog, SNMP tap, or even OpenAPI if you're integrating with applications. sendQuick converts them to an SMS and sends it across to mobile phones. So this means that sendQuick ensures targeted delivery of alerts to intended recipients via filters, while message time buffer avoids what is known as alert fatigue. Now, what is alert fatigue? It is simply being swamped with so much information that you do not know what to do. With sendQuick, you can set the time to avoid sending the same alert if it is repeated within the specific period. Shift management ensures alerts are only sent to personnel on active duty. Why is that? A guy is sitting at home, you don't want him to be swamped with an alert, right? You don't want him to be bothered by alert on when he's on leave, when he's indisposed. So We have something called roster management, which helps to manage the duty roster of the concerned staff, and alerts will be sent only to those personnel. So long as they're on duty, they will receive the alerts. You can set and manage reminder escalation as well. That's coming. Route redundancy compensates for failure of communication channels by switching to available alternatives. What does this mean? If one particular route has gone down, then you can switch to another route quite comfortably and send through that as well. Features such as reminder and escalation further qualifies the alert so that they are conveyed to the right people consistent with policies set by individual organizations. Because organizations are all different. They have their own policies and they would like to enforce them. So based on separate organizations and their policies, these may be configured on sendQuick in order to ensure that we meet with the organizational policies as well. Now, that's not the end of it. sendQuick provides 10 different communication channels to ensure choice of omni-channel redundancy. The ubiquitous mobile phone, has now become very smart, capable of doing a lot of things besides phone call and SMS. Various social media and messenger apps have cropped up recently to address different markets. We've seen that these are evolving in a region-specific manner. To give you an example, while WhatsApp is used in Singapore, we've seen Line being used in certain parts of the world, Viber being used extensively in the Philippines, and so on. Powerful messengers like Telegram are offering unmatched security and reliable message transmission while being free to use. Therefore, we've integrated with these channels to provide our clients with a channel of preference. This is a testimonial provided by Mr. Kim Lim Koon Chai, the CIO of Tenet Insurance. It'll help to put into context the importance of sendQuick to reduce downtime. He says, before sendQuick Entera, we relied on manual monitoring or email alerts instead of SMS alerts. As a result, response time to IT issues can be delayed significantly. As a customer-centric organization, we aim to provide the best user experience for our clients. sendQuick Entera was an immediate success as we are better able to respond to alerts and reduce downtime, thus improving customer service. Now, sendQuick is designed as an enterprise-class, industry-grade notification management platform. A multi-award-winning offering since our inception, sendQuick has become the de facto alerting platform for critical infrastructure. It is unmatched when it comes to ensuring operational efficiency as well. So what are the use cases of sendQuick? We'll talk about a few of them. When DCIM identifies issues pertaining to power, temperature, air conditioning, basically cooling, water leaks, etc., these alerts may be sent to concerned engineers with reminder for timely mitigation and escalation for oversight management. Now, if you take SIEM, the Security Information Event Management solution, if that detects a cyber attack or a denial of service, breach of firewall, or other vulnerabilities, notifications may be sent to IT security personnel. When NMS detects device or application failure, database corruption, web application failure, bandwidth or threshold management issues, alerts may be sent to concerned personnel. Alerts and escalation from and to help desk or service desk, also called as information technology service management tools, may be sent to the operational staff. We are getting in IoT and SCADA. SCADA integration for utilities, building and facility management alerts are also possible. So you can see sendQuick supports a wide range of industry standard protocols to facilitate easy interoperability with devices, applications, and users across the enterprise. In summary, IT notification helps. Early notification helps to combat downtime. I hope you now realize the importance of sendQuick and why it has been deployed at major data centers around the world. You can visit our website, www.talariax.com, for clients, case studies, white papers, product brochures, integration documents, and more. The question that most people ask after the presentation is over is, when is it a good time to onboard sendQuick into a data center? Well, I respond by saying the first thing that you must do when you embark on setting up a DC is to get sendQuick into place. Now, as you onboard other equipment and software, you can set up monitoring and alerting provisions for each of them on sendQuick. Now, this makes for instantaneous and seamless communication of alerts. Just a second, I just had to share my video because I believe there was no video. I'm sorry. Okay. So this makes for instantaneous alerts to concerned personnel by the time your DC is ready to go live. Now, needless to say, this will also ensure that your DC is certified with minimum hassle. If you refer to the certification authorities earlier, they were talking about measuring on a timely basis. We're not saying that they'll come after a month and check what you're doing with the DC. They want to do it on a timely basis. So if you have a working data center already, sendQuick will add immeasurable value to that as well. In summary, IT notification helps businesses by communicating alerts early, ensuring immediate response to reduce downtime and minimize business loss. Now, there are different models available in the sendQuick portfolio. We will be sending this to you, so don't worry too much about it. There's a comparative matrix of the different products in the sendQuick portfolio for your easy reference and understanding. It will be sent to you. Also, sendQuick is available in on four different platforms, such as on-premise appliance, virtual image on VMware, hosted on a public cloud, and software as a service to cater to the unique needs of individual organizations. Now, this is a sample of our customers deployed across 50 countries worldwide. A majority of Fortune 500 companies today are our clients. sendQuick is also deployed for your ease of access at the Triton office in Bangladesh to help with demo to prospective clientele. Triton and DCiCON personnel are trained to deploy and support sendQuick offerings. Please feel free to contact Masood, CEO of DCiCON, for the same after the summit. Now, I'll take you through a quick demo of the user interface of sendQuick Enter time permitting. This is a flagship product of our range, and I just want to show you how easy it is to set up and manage the platform. I will try to map my mobile on the screen to show you the messages coming in to my phone from the Enter platform. And now, before I run out of time, I also want to thank the DCiCON CEO, Mr. Masood Parvaj, for the kind opportunity to be part of this elite summit, and his team for their able support. They've done a commendable job. I also wish to acknowledge other presenters and speakers in the various panel discussions. I've been on a few of them, and thank them for making this summit a success. I'll now proceed to the product demo. Masood, can you give me a minute? I'll just set it up.
Yes, please do.
I'm just mapping my mobile phone. Just bear with me. Okay. So what you see here is my mobile phone mapped to the desktop. Okay. Just minimize this. So, all right. I'll try to increase this so you can see this better. Is that okay? Can you see it? Sud?
Yes, we can see.
Super. All right. So for now, I'll just show you the full interface. So this is the administration interface of sendQuick Entera. I just hit it by providing my login credentials. Now, this is where you administer the on-premise appliance, although the virtual appliance also will look somewhat similar to this. Now you have a dashboard here. On the left-hand side, you have menu items. On the right-hand side, you have the associated items pertaining to those sub-menus. So hit on this dashboard first, you'll see a system overview, usage, and modem status. So right now you have one modem. You can connect up to 32 GSM modems to sendQuick Entera. So that's as scalable as it gets. So when it comes to the overview, you will see the host name, the domain name, which is sendQuick.entera.sendQuickASP.com, the gateway IP, DNS ID, version number, serial number, patch number, and so on. So this is the information you provide to us when you want to report some troubleshooting issues. Yeah. So you see here the CPU usage, memory usage, activity, and so on. You'll also see the different protocols supported by this appliance right now. If you have a red tick mark, it means that is not supported, although you can enable it, by configuring a menu item here on the left. So you see here it supports right now email to SMS to email, HTTP to SMS, web server, SSH, SNMP trap filter, which means you can send SNMP traps to the device, set a filter, and then forward that via SMS or social media messenger to the concerned person. Likewise, you can do email to SMS. You can have email filters and syslog filters as well. So you go to the messaging setup, you will see a host of options in the messaging setup. For example, you can set up the number of messages that should go out as an SMS. In this case, we've configured 2, or you can go up to 30 here. So if you have a smartphone, you will see that as a single message. If you have a legacy phone, you will see that as separate messages. So ideally, you keep it at 2 or 2 to 5. So you have this is where the protocol support is enabled and disabled from here. As you can see, if you want to enable SMS to email function, you put a tick mark here and so on. So then you have queue monitoring, which is basically a counter that you set up. In case it exceeds this counter, it will trigger an alert. So you know that something's stuck in the queue. And you have different routing options with sendQuick. Like I said before, sendQuick is an omni-channel notification management platform. This here, ASP, is our own software as a service on the cloud. So ideally, when you deploy sendQuick on-premise, you will connect to a GSM modem and you'll put a SIM card from the local telco and communicate through that. But if you want to communicate over the internet, so you can communicate with the ASP route via the ASP route as well. So you can set up multiple routes and ensure that you can send via the specific route by using this label. We also have something called Scoop. Scoop is like our own WhatsApp. So ASP is for SMS, while Scoop is our own internal mobile messenger. It can be deployed for various organizations. So we have Scoop on cloud. We also have Scoop on the premises. So if organizations are very fussy about using public messengers like WhatsApp, WeChat, Line, Slack, etc., they can rely on Scoop, which is a messenger deployed in close user group and send messages via Scoop as well. It's a separate device. Either you can opt for a device on premise, or you can opt for Scoop on the internet where it will be provided as a service to your organization. We also facilitate direct connection with various telcos. Now you have Etisalat, you have Do in the UAE. Likewise, you have various other telecommunication companies. They provide a direct route to the SMSE, and you can establish connection by getting their API and configuring the parameters here. Now you can either go for HTTP post, things like that, or you can go for SMPP route. So if that telco supports SMPP, this is where you configure those options. Apart from that, we have MIM, Mobile Instant Messaging. Now this means with sendQuick, you have the capability to message via mobile messengers such as WhatsApp, WeChat, Line, Slack, Viber, Telegram, collaboration tools and Facebook Messenger, and collaboration tools such as Microsoft Teams, Cisco WebEx, and Slack. There's some configuration required, while SMS is out of the box if you're buying an on-premise equipment because it comes with the modem. You simply have to purchase a SIM card from the local telco to start working with sendQuick. Mobile messenger integration is a little more exhaustive in the sense that you will have to have a fixed IP for sendQuick, a domain name for it, an SSL certificate, things like that, before you can enable mobile messaging. Also, you need to have a business account with a concerned mobile messenger provider. Now, when it comes to WhatsApp, WhatsApp is charged, whereas when it comes to things like Telegram, it's absolutely free. So you need to understand which direction your organization wants to take with respect to onboarding specific social media messaging tools and accordingly facilitate. The capability is there within sendQuick. When it comes to the product that we've been showing you, Entera, it is available as part of the standard rollout. However, if you go for Avera or if you go for Alert Plus, other products, this MIM module is an option. Now we also provide voice dial facility. So what is this? Let's suppose you're at home and then you're not likely to see an SMS. Enabling this feature would mean sendQuick Entera would dial the person and read out the message to him. So that's voice dial facility. We did that because we got some complaints saying that when you're sitting at home, you're not likely to see SMS. So voice dial is also integrated into sendQuick Entera. Now, alert profiles is basically where we configure specific channels to a profile. So you can integrate different channels, you can bunch together different channels and call it by a profile name. So you don't have to type out all those channels. Instead, you can recall it by just a profile name. So that's a nifty feature when you're actually talking about facilitating different channels for different users. Now, when you come to phone book and roster management, you'll see that. Because one person would say, please send me only SMS, whereas the other guy would say, don't send me SMS because my telco signal is very weak. Rather, I would prefer to receive messages on Facebook Messenger or Telegram. So when he says I can receive by Facebook Messenger and Telegram, then you have to type out both. Rather, you just say FT or something, and then you can just recall that alert profile. So that's the benefit for doing this. And you can also enable and disable that by saying yes or no here. So then we come to the modem setup, where we can configure different modems. So you can see, as you can see, a modem requires a license. One modem is free with the device. You can go up to 32 modems. Each additional modem would require a license fee, which you pay to Talariax. The advantage of deploying multiple modems with an on-premise sendQuick is that you can use different modems for retry. Now, what is a scenario in which you will use different modems for retry? Now, let's suppose one of the modems were to go down or the SIM card in the modem has failed. So what sendQuick would do is it will try with the first available modem in the modem pool. And if that's not working, it will switch to the next modem and send from there. So as you see, you can create what is known as route redundancy. Also, when you add multiple modems, you're increasing the factor of rate of transmission by 100%. Ideally, sendQuick sends 10 to 15 messages per minute. So on a single modem. So if you have additional modems, you're increasing that by, let's say, 20 to 30, and so on. You can also set up delivery reports. This is in the case of SMS. And in case you're sending via modem with a SIM card, you can get a delivery report as well. So we have a lot of options here which will help with all of this. And we also have a device called MPM here, which will help you integrate a modem, a physical modem, with a VM machine. So since you can't connect a modem directly to VM, we use a MPM, connect that to the network, and then connect the modem to the USB port of the MPM. And the VM can then talk to the MPM and send out messages. So coming to phone book records, you can see here, all your users will be configured here. Once they opt in, their records will come in here, and they'll have a username, mobile number, phone, email address, and so on. And here you will decide which are the different channels that you will use to send them messages. As I said before, you can specify certain channels for specific users, right? So it's not necessary that you give them all the channels or you give them only one channel. You can give them a group of channels, and they can specify the order of priority with which the messages have to be sent to them. It's an invaluable feature because it not only supports sending of messages to these channels, but receiving messages from these channels as well. So what's the advantage of doing that? You will see that when it comes to filter rules and network monitor, when we communicate an alert, we will wait for the response from the recipient. If he has responded, then we know that he's taking care of the problem. If not, we can set a reminder or an escalation to reach another person so that that person is now in charge for oversight and management. So those things we can do. So the next thing is basically the roster management. As you can see, we have several duty rosters where people are assigned to shifts. And once the person is assigned to the shift, the alerts will be sent only to him. It will not be sent to everybody. Now, if the person is on leave or he is reported in sick and if the duty roster is updated accordingly, the alert will not be sent to him. This is a major advantage because sometimes what happens is everybody gets the alert, nobody knows what to do. They don't know whether they have to take a call on it or somebody else has to take a call on it. This way, only the people on duty will get the alert. Now, what happens if the person doesn't respond? We have set thresholds, right? When it comes to the filter rules, I'll show you. If let's say the threshold of 10 minutes set for a specific error has elapsed, then it will automatically escalate to the next person. So that's the advantage of having two-way communication. So all these things are not there with other, alerting mechanisms or alerting tools. We provide AD-LDAP integration so that you can onboard all of them very quickly from the AD and start designating alerts or building the rosters for your personnel. So now we come to the filter rules. What are the filter rules? The three things are possible. This is in reactive mode. This means that devices and applications send information to sendQuick. It could be an alert, it could be a notification. sendQuick would convert it as an SMS and send it onward to the concerned person or via social media, as the case may be. So when we talk about an email filter, we're talking about setting up a message, an incoming message from an email ID. So you can say from this to this subject, message body, and so on. After you configure all of this, you can hit save. It will come to something like this. And then you click on this and you can configure, sorry, one sec, go down. You can now, you've designated the alert now, created a filter, alert filter. You can now send it to the concerned person. So simply edit on this. Pardon me, it's taking a little bit of time to come up. So yeah, because of the latency. All right. So you see here, this is the message that will go to the person. We have some variables which will capture the specific system or specific message that is sending this message. Okay, so you can have SMS as a, you can send it as an SMS, you can send it as an email, or you can also alert via voice. You can set and manage escalation. So this means it will send it only once in report, escalation, and so on. So if you say escalation, you will see that this box opens up to as many escalation parameters as possible. So if you say 2, then it will send it to, it'll open up 2 escalation boxes. So you can send via SMS, via email, voice, or groups to 2 separate levels. If you say 3, then 3 will open up here. So here, ideally, you could say this is my internal support team, this is my manager, and this will be the third party responsible for AMC or SLA, as the case may be. It could also be your vendors or principal, in certain instances. All right. The same thing goes for SNMP trap filter. You can configure SNMP traps to reach sendQuick, right? Most network devices send SNMP traps. It is operated in exactly the same way as your email filter. Set those things up, configure the people to receive alert, identify the channel through which you want to send it, and you're good. The same thing is for syslog filter as well. So coming to network monitor, this is a very nifty feature where you can ping devices to determine the status of whether it is up or down on the network. So ideally, you'll have network management systems and stuff like that in the data center. I have not seen data centers without NMS or SIM tools and so on. So, but if it comes to an organization that does not have NMS, this is an invaluable feature. Also, if the NMS goes down, the entire network is offline. There is no monitoring. So if you can configure ping checks here, it will keep pinging these different devices. And if it goes down on the network, it will immediately send alert to the concerned person. So there are different things to avoid, alert fatigue in this as well, where you will set the number of attempts, attempt timeout, monitoring interval upon failure, etc., in order to ensure that the person is not swamped with all the alerts, or the network is not, kept busy with all these pings going back and forth. Right. URL check is where you can monitor your intranet, extranet, websites, etc., for uptime availability. The moment it goes down, we'll inform the concerned person. Notice that we're not only communicating status down, we're also checking for status up. So once we communicate the message that this thing has gone down, in the background, sendQuick is checking these things for when it comes back online. And when it does, we will send the message immediately to the concerned or designated personnel. Port check is a feature where we will proactively monitor for application status. Now, applications run on virtual ports. So when we sniff the port and the port is closed, we come to the conclusion that the app is down, and we will immediately notify the concerned person. When the person intercedes and ensures that it's back online, we will send a message to the concerned people that have to be notified that the app is now live. We have exhaustive security setup. sendQuick sits behind the firewall in your organization. So you have to breach the firewall to get to sendQuick first. But in the unlikely event a person does that, we still have various permissions that you can actually set up within sendQuick to ensure security of sendQuick as an appliance. We also have different passwords for the various features that you will access on sendQuick. These can be protected by ensuring that it's kept in a safe place by the sendQuick administrator. We have backup and diagnostic, where you can generate backup file for all the configurations you've done on sendQuick. Just click on it and then you can restore it at any time. Notice that you cannot restore between two different versions of sendQuick. You need to restore to the same version of sendQuick that you've taken backup from. That's because sendQuick has different versions and different editions. So we'll need to roll back to a stable version before we can actually restore the backup. So you have to please speak to us before you try to restore backups. We have a lot of logs ranging from the message log, which is basically for SMS, MIM, which includes the message logs of WhatsApp, WeChat, Line, all those 10 different messengers, and Scoop, which is basically our internal mobile messenger developed by us. We have queue. When you say queue, it is main, defer, SMS queue, MIM queue, and Scoop queue. You have sent similarly for SMS, MIM, and Scoop, unsent for the same, and inbox. If you click on inbox, you will see all those messages that come into sendQuick. I'll demo this presently for you. Then we have conversation summary. This is basically for getting an idea of who are all the people messaging from different channels to sendQuick. So you can see that this is my mobile number. You can see that I have messaged via Facebook Messenger, Telegram, SMS, and so on. So this helps to track people when they're messaging from different channels. So apart from that, you have email log, which tells you what are the emails that have reached the system and to whom it has been addressed to, who has sent it, and so on, when it has been delivered and all that. So similarly, you have logs for voice log, system log, audit log, usage statistics to let you know how sendQuick is being used and so on. Okay. Now, I'll take you to the last section, which is basically the test section. So here you can initiate an email test, a ping test, so you can determine the ideal ping time, because some networks have latency issues. So if you set up a ping time which is very frequent, then the chances are that because of network unavailability, it will give you a false positive. Now, to avoid that from happening, you can set a wider period in terms of the time frame and ensure that pings report correctly, that the device is down and it's not because of network availability or the network not being available. Right. So here we will do a test message now. I think I've spoken enough. So here you're seeing my phone mapped here. So let's see if it's live. It is. Okay. All right. So I'll just send a test message. So here I'm just going to click on my mobile number and I'll say, this is our test during DCiCON summit, and I will just send it submit. So you can see here it says successfully queued. So if you go to the phone now, you will see that message coming in. Yeah, you see this message is coming? That's my phone. I'm just going to. You can see here the test during. So this is basically WhatsApp. Okay. So you will also see Telegram. This is Telegram. You can see the message coming by Telegram. This is SMS. So you see the message coming by SMS. And last but not the least, this is Facebook Messenger. Right now, from Facebook Messenger, let's say I want to acknowledge back. I say acknowledge. I'm typing on my phone. Message from sendQuick. Okay, and I hit enter on my phone. So now what you can do is you can go to the usage logs, you see this, and go to the MIM log. Bear with me, MIM log, and you'll see this message coming into sendQuick. So you see supports two-way messaging option with different via different channels, right? Okay. Now the question is, how do I integrate with different channels? How do I integrate with different applications and so on? So for this, we have this SMS specification where you have email API. This is the format for basically sending a message to sendQuick. You'll type out the mobile number. In this case, my Dubai number will be +971562129922 at 182.23.145.24. This is the IP address of sendQuick Entera. So you use this as the email ID, you'll be able to send a message to sendQuick, as simple as that. And then you set a filter here. You saw this filter. Set a filter here for email alert, and you can ensure that that is sent to the concerned person. So it will automatically go to this mobile number as well. So if you set a filter, you can send it via social media channels and so on. So this is for SMS. Likewise, you can actually send this message to a specific modem. So you will identify the modem with the help of this label number. Label means the first modem in the pool, second modem in the pool, and so on. So you can target this for delivery to a specific modem. This is where you actually set the voice. So if you send an email to sendQuick with the ID VC, that means voice, dash, mobile number at IP address, sendQuick will now call this mobile number and read out the message that is actually being sent. So that's how you actually send it. So you see, it's very, very easy to do these things, right? Apart from the API here, we also have the REST API, which allows you to integrate to applications. So how do you do that? You simply call this via HTTP method or HTTP XML method or JSON method. These are the different code snippets with some variables here, like tar underscore num, tar underscore message, etc., which you will embed here. Tar underscore num means mobile number. Tar underscore message means message that you want to send. An application programmer will take 5 minutes to do this. So you can easily integrate any of the applications that support API integration, because this is an open API with sendQuick. Likewise, this is the API for MIM integration. Suppose you want to send to social media channels from your application directly, you will have to use these methods and this thesis command to send. Likewise, if you want to have voice, you have this API, voice API, to send it. So this basically completes the demo of sendQuick. You have a document which you can download, the API guide, which actually tells you how you can use the different APIs to send messages from sendQuick, to receive messages from sendQuick, to set monitoring parameters and so on. So this is a very comprehensive guide. We also have assistance by way of our highly qualified tech support team who will assist you to get this integration up and running. So if any questions, you can simply email support@talariax.com and we will immediately respond to you. So this brings me to the end of the presentation. There's a lot more, but since this is a summit and we are given limited time, I'd like to stop with this while thanking Masood and his team for the commendable job they did in putting up this summit amidst the pandemic. Sincerely appreciate that. Later in the day, our CEO, Mr. J.S. Wong, will be participating in a panel discussion, and I hope there'll be some good takeaways from that as well. He's highly experienced, and he leads us from Singapore. So that will be a good opportunity in case you have the time. I suggest you don't miss the panel discussion today. So Masood, thank you very much. I'll take questions if any.
Yes, thank you, Ashok. Yeah, there are a few questions. Let me go through it one by one. Okay, the first question is there any solution to SMS to boys or text to boys for any other language actually, like Bengali or other language?
Could be doable, although we have done only English now. But I think
Ashok, can you stop your screen, please? Stop your screen
stop my
sharing.
screen.
Screen sharing. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
stopped. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, you were saying something?
Yes. So other language, SMS text to boys in other language like Bengali or other.
That's a very good question. I mean, while SMS can be sent in different languages, right? SMS to voice, that's a little dicey. I'll have to check on that because we haven't done that up until now. At least I haven't done it. So I have to check to see if that integration is possible. It should be doable, right? But I think we need the corresponding API for that. I'll check and get back to you on this because for now we've done only English.
Okay. Yeah, you have too many questions actually. Then another question is, what happen if there is no GSM network? How will sendQuick deliver SMS?
Okay. Now, see, when it comes to sendQuick, it's an omni-channel notification management platform, right? So by virtue of being an omni-channel platform, there are different channels that sendQuick can send messages with. When it comes to SMS itself, there are 3 different ways to send message from sendQuick. The GSM channel is required only for the modem, because you have a SIM card from the telco and that you put into the GSM modem and then you have to communicate. So if there's no GSM signal or network, it's obvious that you cannot use that route, right? However, you saw the direct connection in the demo. Yeah. So you can actually do a direct connection to the telco SMSC by getting their API, login credentials, and configuring that in sendQuick. So you can send via the internet route. You can send SMS via internet, right? Let's suppose you don't have a direct connection service provider. Then what? We have ASP. That is our own software as a service for delivery of SMS on the cloud. So you can connect to ASP and deliver from there. So you say, okay, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have all these things. What do? You can still send via social media messengers, right? You can send via Facebook Messenger, you can send via WhatsApp, you can send via WeChat, you can send via Slack. Or if you're Microsoft Teams, if you're subscribed for a Microsoft Office 365, Teams is free with it. You're not even paying. You'll be able to send messages via Microsoft Teams. So that's the answer to your question. I hope that's good enough.
Yeah, actually you have a few more, but before that, people will think that they are getting answer from robot. Can you please turn on your video before asking the next?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my God. Where do I turn on my video? Start video. One sec.
Yes.
Why do people think I'm a robot? Is my way of speaking? Where's my...
Yes, it's okay. So
are you able to see me now? Okay.
Yeah. Now another question is, it's a very big question actually. Hi, good afternoon. I have a question regarding the sendQuick, regarding notification. The sendQuick forwarded the exact event notification or alert which is generated by the IT device, and how it show to the customer interface. Also, until the event is not resolved, the sendQuick can give reminder to the customer regarding the particular event.
Good question. Yeah, good question. I have to rephrase a couple of those things so that it becomes, we can understand what this question is all about. Regarding notification, the sendQuick forward exact event notification or alert which is generated by the IT device. Oh, that's a good question. That's a very good question. He's asking, once the device generates an alert, is that the same alert that is sent by sendQuick, or sendQuick does some modification on the alert? You can do both. You can customize the alert that is coming in and send it across. This is number one. Number two, you can send the alert as it is. You notice those variables? We can capture aspects of the alert and send it as it is to the concerned person. Now, how does it show in the customer interface? How we have designated in the message. So for instance, X, MSG. So then the message will be replaced as it is. But suppose we type in plain language, let's suppose we get error 405 and we don't know what 405 is. But let's suppose at an earlier time, you got this 405 and you know that's an account lockout error. So you can say account lockout and send. So you'll know that this particular IP address has had an account lockout, you see. So we can do both. This question is very relevant. I don't think many people understand this question, but the question is highly relevant. Okay, so that's how it actually shows up in the customer interface. How we designate the alert division. We can format the message that goes out to the mobile number by using the variables and by using English language. So wherever it's English language, plain language, it will show it as it is. Wherever we use variables, it will stuff it with the respective values of the error code or a device as the case may be. Okay. So he says also, the event is not resolved, can sendQuick give reminder to the customer regarding the particular event? Absolutely, yes. If the error is not resolved, sendQuick will be continuously monitoring. You can set sendQuick to monitor once. You can set sendQuick to monitor continuously. You can also set escalation, which means that if the error is not resolved, sendQuick will immediately escalate to the person that is designated to receive the escalation notification. So this could be the IT manager, it could be the systems administrator, it could even be the third-party agency responsible for AMC and SLA. In many cases, we have seen that they escalate also to the principal organization. So it's not enough to escalate to your systems integrator. You will also escalate to the organization that's responsible for the application or device as the case may be. Good question, thank you. Who's this? Engineer Sadiq Ali. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, I think he also asked another question. IT or facilities device like PAC. Okay, I think it means that if any third-party device like hardware or any hardware device have any alarm, so it is possible to get this kind of alarm or not?
Absolutely. See, today, uninterruptible power supply systems, environment monitoring systems, power distribution units, etc. These are all IP addressable, which means that there is full interoperability between an IT device and these third-party devices, which he's talking about. Since he's an engineer, he is really concerned about the other devices as well. So yes, sendQuick as a notification management platform can integrate with all these disparate devices and obtain alerts. Now the question is, how do you send alert to that? You simply do an email to SMS, or if that device generates SNMP traps, you can capture the SNMP trap and send it onward. So we do syslog, SNMP trap, email to SMS. When it comes to UPS, when it comes to building management systems, DCIM, network management systems, etc., we do a simple email to SMS, SMTP to SMS. Yeah. See, sometimes what happens is we have seen that DCIM tools, etc., they're allowed to send only to one email ID. You can overcome that limitation with sendQuick, because you can send to sendQuick's email ID, and from within sendQuick, you can designate filters and send it to the multiple recipients. And they can in turn respond to sendQuick. You see how we can increase communication and exchange of information between an organization and different people, although we have a real limitation when it comes to messaging from, let's say, a DCIM tool or an anonymous application.
Okay, there is another question. What happens if a recipient does not acknowledge the message from sendQuick?
Okay. If the person doesn't acknowledge the message, it means he is not available to take that message. So then the escalation parameter will kick in, and the designated person to receive the escalation will receive the message so that he can respond, or he can engage in actions. Like, for instance, he can forward that message to a third party, like a systems integrator, because the person that is designated this within the organization is not available now, or cannot take a call on it. So it will be sent either to the systems integrator or the principal organization, as the case may be. Notice that we have up to 5 levels of escalation possible with sendQuick. So it's just not one, we just alert the person and then we keep quiet. So what happens if he's not well? What happens if he's, God forbid, met with an accident, or he's having lunch or whatever? And that's an important alert, So we can't tell him he's not even there to see the message. So what happens is, within 5 minutes, if somebody doesn't attend to it, this message may have a propensity to move towards a crisis or a disaster, in which case it has to be attended to immediately. So the person responsible for oversight or his supervisor would have to take a call on it. sendQuick provides seamless escalation to pre-designated individuals so that they can take a call on what's to be done.
Okay, actually, the last question, because we cannot take any more questions. So, is there any limitation to number of applications that I may connect to sendQuick?
Wow. Okay. There's no limitation to the number of applications that you can connect to sendQuick. Because basically, you will be integrating applications via API, right? Via one of the industry standard protocols, either it will be XML, HTTP post, SOAP, whatever that is. sendQuick is built to be an enterprise class industry grade appliance. So regardless of the number of applications you have, you throw more at sendQuick is even happier. No issues. Okay.
Okay, Ashok, thank you very much for your nice presentation.
I think one more. How many channels supported? Rahman is asking that question. I'll just take this call, and one more thing he's asking: what is unique about Starline, and how is it different from other buses? This has got nothing to do with me, huh?
Actually, maybe he saw the video, and that's why he asked this question.
Okay. So this is something to do with, I think, data center presentation. Yeah. Power basically. Okay. DC supply. All right, because that's got nothing to do with me. Anyway, the next thing is how many channels supported. Well, apart from SMS and email, sendQuick supports channels such as WhatsApp, WeChat, Line, Telegram, Facebook Messenger, and so on. It also supports collaboration tools like Slack, Microsoft Teams, and Cisco WebEx.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ashok, for your nice presentation. Yeah, because yes, we are on time shortage actually. Another session will start now. So see you soon in Dhaka, and next time, if possible, we shall do the physical summit. Okay.
Oh, it was such a pleasure, and I hope to join you in Dhaka soon. Thank you very much indeed.
Yes.